let that guy sit for a minute. I'm gonna get 1 teaspoon of kosher salt in here. Is this a teaspoon?
Now, what about measuring spoons? I've read where they tend to vary in size.
Shapes.
Well, then that's
Shapes, but not,
shameful.
yeah.
That's shameful. It should not happen.
I have read that. They vary considerably.
Like very inconsistent?
Yes.
There's the claw.
There's the claw, right? So I got my salt, my bread flour in here, and then I'm gonna wait for my yeast to dissolve, which won't take long, especially this kind dissolves like nothing. I buy some this other yeast at the restaurant that is industrial grade, and it takes a while for it to
So you
dissolve.
don't mix the yeast, you just, what you call...
I rain it on top, and then I give it a little stir. And see, it already is dissolved. How do you know that it is dissolved? You go in here, you go like this, and you don't feel any grain. You feel a little bit of grain, it's not right. Okay? So,
On your recipe, it shows olive oil. Are you putting olive oil
Yes,
in there?
I am.
Okay. Don't mean to be getting ahead of you. I just kind of looking at it.
and then, but I don't want to do oil before I add the yeast because more than anything is just because I want, yeah, I want all the liquids there at the same time.
So olive oil after.
So I got some olive oil in there, and then here we are gonna need. So maybe we will need.
Do you want the board?
Yeah, not for me, but for somebody for sure because.
We'll slip it up. You want to just pull that board out, and we'll leave the plastic on the stovetop, because then it'll
So it doesn't get
give
all
us that
floury.
surface. Yeah. Well, no, it just gives us more of a surface.
Okay.
How's that?
Lovely.
And this is the good side here.
You don't need to scale anymore, do you?
I don't need to scale anymore.
Yeah, we can put it here over this thing.
So I got a good mass over here, and I still have a little bit of flour at the bottom. I'm gonna just add a tad of water again. We don't want this one to be sticky, but we definitely want it to pick up a little bit.
So if the side of the bowl is clean, you've added enough water.
Exactly. That is a great to describe it. So I'm not gonna get too retentive. That's enough. And then we're gonna need, and this is probably what you guys are more familiar with when you see people making bread. So everybody's got a way. This is a great height, by the way. So you'll see that you don't need a lot of flour. But what I like is like, think of this like it should be, the objective is that this guy becomes a nice tight little ball, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I always need this way. Always with the heel of your hand, or you'll get like extremely exhausted really quick. And then I'm turning it a quarter of a way and pressing in there. A quarter of a way, press in there. Quarter of the way, press in there. And then this hand is more like my shovel. It helps me just turn it. And you can do this while you listen to the news or whatever, like, 'cause you're gonna be here for a little bit.
How long do you do it?
Until it's ready, which is a very very vague term, but there's a little. You're gonna start to feel like it feels very different the more you need. And here, what we're trying to do is develop that gluten, like make it strong. So
we over need something like this?
not you, some people, but not you.
What?
It's the overknitters are usually machines. Like not people like our machines. It's usually a machine. Yeah, it's hard to overknit when you're a person.
Okay.
You just get exhausted too soon.
Just yeah, exactly. And you don't have that level of efficiency.
What happens if you don't need it enough? What happens?
It will be weak-ish, but it will still work.
It'll be what-ish?
Weak-ish,
Oh.
but it will still work. It can. Just.
Will be at top or no?
Like it won't rise as much?
It could not rise as much, but focaccia is a lovely flatty bread, so it will rise. It will be fine.
Okay. Remember, it's bread 101.
I hope this,
right away.
I hope this is not too difficult.
So, time to do it.
And then once I'm done, I'm gonna just like give it a nice little round shape. So I was going like this, right? So I had a little bit of a seam, like a belly button right here. So I'm gonna go like this and form a nice little ball. And then this is what we call the bounce test. So what you do is like you pinch it like this, and it has to bounce back. You guys want to come close and see? Like you pinch it like so, and it bounces back. That means that you got a good little kneading action going on. It wasn't that much, right? It was like a couple minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we're gonna drizzle.
There's the oil.
And this is the kind of bread that you don't have to be shy with the oil, because it bakes in an oil pan. It has olive oil, so I'm not at this point. I'm not worried about keeping it grease-free or oil-free. So I go like this, so that it has some oil on the top, and invert it. And then we cover it about 2 hours, and we can start shaping and baking.
Now, if you wanted to